Jenny Holvey from Engra Holistics. I'm a meditation teacher registered with the British School of Meditation. Today I want to share with you a meditation I wrote, which I've called Walking with the Deer. It's a guided visualization, so I'm going to go on a guided walk through beautiful wood that I'm going to be following in the path of the deer. So I'll invite you to take up a really comfortable meditation position. That can be lying down if you wish, although if you're feeling particularly sleepy, probably best if you stay sat upright. And I would invite you to close your eyes. It's not essential, but obviously if we're trying to imagine that we are somewhere different, then it's always helpful, I think, to have eyes closed for the visualizations. But as I say, if you feel uncomfortable doing that, just have your eyes, your gaze very softly downwards at a point maybe on the floor, if that feels easier for you. We're going to get ourselves nice and comfortable by perhaps just checking in with our hands first of all. Are they resting? Have them resting on your lap, just palms up or palms down, or just palms resting on each other. That's absolutely fine. However you feel you're comfortable with your hands. And your shoulders, are they softly downwards and not hunched up by your ears? We tend to sit sometimes with our shoulders bunched up, particularly if we're tense. So I'm going to ease our shoulders down, just feel them ease downwards. And with our jaw, just check in with your jaw. Is your jaw tight at all? We hold a lot of tension in our jaw. If we're feeling stressed or uptight, we do tend to clench our jaw. So just move your jaw slightly, move it from side to side, and then just gently up and down. We don't want any strong movements, just very gently moving it around, just to check in, make sure there's no residual tension there. And then just let your jaw soften. I'm going to ease into the meditation by focusing on our breath. So it's nice to think of ourselves as easing into meditation, and when we've finished easing out, it's quite easy to come along and plonk yourself down in a chair on a meditation cushion and think, right, I'm here, let's go for it. Whereas actually it's quite nice to just ease ourselves into it. So even when we're practicing a visualization, it's nice just to ease into the meditation by focusing on the breath. So just focus on a few breaths, just on a few in-breaths and a few out-breaths. Just remembering that we're not striving to make anything any different. You don't need to control your breathing, you just need to let it happen and just observe it. Just noticing it just as it is. Each in-breath, each out-breath. Just breathing in and breathing out, your own pace. And now, can you imagine? Visualize yourself walking through a field towards a wood. So it's a warm day. It's not too hot. It's absolutely perfect for a walk. And the sun is high in the sky with a few clouds dotted here and there. And the hedges bordering the fields are bright with spring flowers and alive with butterflies, birds and insects. Bees busy collecting pollen. And the field is full of meadow flowers, blues and pinks and yellows, and the bright, bright red of the beautiful wild poppy. As you walk along the track by the hedge, You suddenly notice a deer ahead, a doe. She has stepped out of the woods, and she has also noticed you and is standing elegant in her quiet stillness. You stop walking for a while, and the deer and you watch each other. Who will move first? You move forwards a few steps, and still the deer remains standing by the edge of the wood, watching you. You are closer now, and you notice her graceful beauty, delicate legs, and alert ears, and her watchful eyes like brown pools. You have the feeling she is tempting you to move closer to her. As you continue to walk very slowly, you sense that this is a magical moment. It is like you have stepped out of reality. The doe stays perfectly still while you get closer and closer. And then just when you are a few paces away, just when you feel as though you could reach out and touch her, she turns and walks a few steps until she is just inside the woods. And again, she turns and watches you. You realize she is inviting you to follow her, to follow in the path of the deer. You also step into the woods. The deer is just ahead. It is cooler in here. A canopy of leaves hiding the sun. The trees are ancient and many are twisted and gnarled, their massive trunks and branches covered in moss and lichen. They are indeed the ancient spirits of this woodland. Old fallen leaves form a soft carpet beneath your feet. And there is a stillness all around you, with only the sound of the birdsong to break the silence. The atmosphere is one of mystery and magic, although you feel totally safe and inside perhaps a little excited. The deer remains just ahead of you, and she stops and turns to look at you every so often, just to make sure you are still following in her footsteps. She twists and turns through the trees, and you follow behind. Deeper and deeper into the woods you venture, until you emerge from the trees into the most beautiful glade you could ever have imagined. It is bright and sunny after the darkness of the woods. Water tumbles over the edge of some rocks at the far end of the glade. The sound of the waterfall tumbling and the water continuing its journey through the glade over pebbles and around larger rocks breaks the silence which had surrounded you in the woods. The deer stands by the edge of the stream watching you. The glade is full of flowers, and butterflies and dragonflies and mayflies hover over the water. This is an enchanting place to be. The deer takes some steps towards some longer grass at the edge of the glade and turns to look at you again. You know in your heart she is asking you to come closer, and you walk towards her, entranced and captivated by her gentle beauty. As you step towards the longer grass and the deer, you notice a movement, and it is then you realise that she is showing you her baby, a little fawn, curled up in the longer grass, waiting for his mother. The doe bends her head to lick him softly with her tongue, and he raises his head and struggles to stand. She nudges the fawn towards you, and you come closer until you can reach out and touch its velvety nose. It nuzzles your hand while its mother watches. This is a moment of total trust between human and animal, a moment to be truly treasured. The doe then nudges her fawn away and leads towards the stream so that they can take a drink of the pure, clean water. You sit on a log and watch the deer and her fawn as they drink and then graze. The deer then leads the fawn back to the longer grass, and it lies down again. She turns to look at you, and you sense she is communicating with you. It is time for you to leave this place where you've experienced the beauty of trust and faith in the kindness of mankind. For a while, you've experienced the world as it could be, a world of friendship and trust, with a sprinkling of magic and mystery. As you start to walk away, you turn to look at the woods. And when you look back again, the deer and her fawn have disappeared. You wonder if you have been dreaming. However, there is an indentation in the long grass where the fawn had settled to wait quietly for the doe. You turn to look at the woods, and you wonder how you will find your way out. But then you notice a well-worn track leading through the trees. Surely that had not been there before. You follow the track leading through the ancient moss-covered trees. And within what seems like only a few moments, you are back in the field with the woods behind you. As you walk through the field, you glance behind you hoping to see the doe. You notice something move at the edge of the woods. Is it? Isn't it? You cannot be sure, but you will always have the memory of the day you followed in the path of the deer. So it is now time to let any images you're holding in your mind dissolve away. Just let them fade. And return your focus to your breath. Just starting once again to notice each in-breath and each out-breath. Remembering not to try and control the breath, there's no need. You don't need to strive to control the breath. And then start to expand your awareness. It's becoming aware of your physical body. Becoming aware of any subtle movements in your body, perhaps the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. And perhaps noticing any sounds around you. And then it's time to end this meditation. I'd like to thank you for joining me. I hope to upload another meditation again soon. Goodbye.